Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the weekly Purple Penny coin news video. It's Monday, 12 o'clock in Adelaide, South Australia. We're out of the lockdown here in Adelaide. We only lasted a week, so that was good. This week has been busy as expected. Lots of people in this week trying to get their coin fixed. Business in the shop was good. Lots of buying, lots of selling, which is always good fun for us. The computer is cooperating today. Everything seems to be working first try, which is pretty unusual. Goings on this week, I feel like that the $2 market has probably turned a bit of a corner. That $2 coins have started to regain some of their value that they lost in the last 6 to 12 months. I don't necessarily know that it's deserved, and it's mostly driven by people on Facebook, but if you are in the $2 market and you're looking to get things, now might be a good time to get them before the prices do head back up again. The live auctions that I've watched in the last 2 weeks, I watched the Roxbury's auction and a couple of others. The prices there were quite good. There's still more interest in decimal coins than there are in pre-decimal coins, which reflects a change in the collecting interest that people have, I guess. So let's just say hello to a few people. Hello, Paul, Aaron. No cabinets today. Werner, Gary, the other Paul, Greg from Lockdown, Mike Ellery, Brendan Aliff. Hello, Alison. How are you? The cabinets aren't toned, Paul, but a bit of coin humour there. Got to roll with the coin humour. The Olympic coin release has helped with a little with the $2 coin price. I suspect you're probably right there, Brendan. That's a pretty insightful comment. We have sold all of our Olympic coin folders that we got from the mint. We didn't get a very big allocation, but they're all gone. Hello, Tanya. Again, we saw Tanya in the shop last week. G'day, Gwen. And so that's all the hellos. Right, so let's jump into the news for the week. So we got an email from the mint on Friday saying that all of the I need a haircut. All of the mint releases for August are on time, all due for release on August the 19th. Of course, the 2-coin penny 110th birthday set was delayed anyway, but that's due for release as well on the 19th of August, so we believe that they are all on time and will be here ready for release on the 19th of August. The Paralympic $2 coin is due for release on 18th of August, and that is on time as well. Now, we only got a small allocation of those, and we got to buy them at the same price as everyone else, which is the release price of $3. So as a consequence, they will not be getting mailed out, and we'll be only accepting cash on those. Otherwise, we'll take a loss because of FPOS fees. So if you have put your name down for some here in the shop, then please bring in the cash to pay for those after August the 18th. So Catherine on Thursday or Friday spotted a genuine, what appeared to be a genuine 2020 donation dollar with the print on the wrong side. So the print, instead of being on the reverse, was on the obverse. It looked real. The paint was gone from the high points, and the way that the paint had adhered to the coin kind of matched the profile of the Queen's portrait. Looked like the real deal. About a year ago, someone mocked one up in Paint Shop or something or other, which generated a bit of interest, but there was an obvious fake. This one that surfaced on the weekend looks like the real thing. So it's really interesting that that has taken so long to surface. When you compare that to the number of $2 coins with the paint on the wrong side that have appeared, you wonder if the mint hasn't started using some different technology to try and improve the paint application. So, coins in the news this week. The only one of interest that I read about was a gold coin that was found by a detectorist in the UK in March 2020, and it's what's called a Mancus, which is a bit of an unusual name. A Mancus is a 30 penny gold coin. It's about 4.3 grams and of high purity gold. I'm not sure of the exact purity, but it is high purity gold. And we'll just bring up a picture of the Mancus. I love the name, the Mancus. So there it is there. So it's a hammered gold coin, and it's struck under the King Egbert, who was a king of West Saxony or Wessex. And this coin was struck in about I think it's about 800 to 830 AD, 30 pennies, and it would have bought almost 400 loaves of bread. So that gives you some idea of the relative value of it. I mean, today that would be perhaps $800 to $1,500 worth of currency. And now, interestingly, there's only 8 gold coins struck by Anglo-Saxon kings that are known to exist today, and 7 of those are owned by the British Museum, and this is the 8th one. So this is going to become available to private collectors and could well end up being the only privately owned Anglo-Saxon gold coin, which I find to be really interesting. Apparently Dix Noonan Webb, I think, is the auctioneer, thinks that it'll net £150,000 to £200,000. So if you've got a spare $300,000 to $500,000 and you want something fairly unique, then here's something for you. Now, I won't be bidding on it because I don't have that much money, but it is undoubtedly a pretty neat coin. The detectorist, from what I understand, the laws in the UK, the detectorist gets to split the proceeds 50-50 with the landowner, so that's not a bad effort to find a coin like that. So that was a pretty cool thing in the news this week that I found. I thought I'd just share that with you. Right, now the last 2 weeks we've focused on errors out of our own collection. This week I thought I would do something a little bit different and actually look at some of the questions that we get asked in this shop all the time. Now, those of you who know me know that I'm a coin collector. I've started collecting coins in 2002 or something or other. Still am a coin collector, and this whole shop business is a bit of a learning exercise for Catherine and ourselves. There's no coin shop owners university you can go to or apprenticeship or anything like that, so we're kind of making it up as we go along, and it's always surprising how many times you get asked the same questions here. So I thought I would just share 4 of the most commonly asked questions that we get, that we hear here. And these are either face-to-face or on the telephone or via social media comments. So let's have a look at them. The first one: why is your gold and silver so expensive? Now, I must get this 3 or 4 times a month whenever we talk about gold bullion, on Facebook or wherever. Almost inevitably, when I list up a silver bar or something like that, I get a message from someone saying, "You're ripping people off, your silver is too expensive, or your gold is too expensive." Now, I'm sure that our learned viewers here will know exactly why that is the case, and it's because the news at night time always states the gold and silver price in US dollars. Now, if you watch the news every night, they always talk about the stock market and the gold and silver price, and those prices are in US dollars. Now, why the Australian media quotes gold and silver prices in US dollars, I have no idea. It is kind of stupid, but that's what they do. So when we list up silver for $37 or $38 an ounce, and we get a comment from someone saying, "You're ripping people off, it's only $26 an ounce," the reason is that they don't understand that those numbers they see all the time on the news are in US dollars. So if you're thinking about buying gold and silver bullion, make sure you understand what the gold and silver price currency is, and be aware that it's not as simple as watching the news and seeing if it goes up and goes down, because the gold and silver prices are heavily pegged to the Australian and US dollar exchange rate, and often the price may go up in US dollars, but it stays flat in Australian dollars. So it's just, if you're going to get into that area, understand the difference. Right, question number 2. Is my insert coin name here a specimen or proof? Now this was this almost always is most often 1927 Parliament florins. Okay, so whenever we get this asked this question, it's almost invariably a 1927 Parliament florin. Why? I don't know. Perhaps some sort of Google results come up showing proof Parliament florins, or I really don't understand. But it's human nature that when you find a coin in a box or in a drawer or inherit a box of coins, it's human nature to think that they are valuable and that you've got the valuable ones. Now, the answer to is your coin a specimen or a proof 99.999999% of the time is no, it's not. It's a regular circulation coin. Here we buy hundreds of thousands of coins a week. Almost all of them end up in our bulk tubs, in our bulk world coins, bulk half pennies, bulk pennies. That's where almost all of them end up. What percentage? It would be more than 99% of the coins that we buy here end up in our bulk world tubs, where you can buy them for $16 a kilo. So that gives you the idea of what most coins are worth. Most coins don't have really any particular value. So if you're thinking that you've found yourself a proof or a specimen, the answer almost always is no. And if you think it is, then do read the articles out there on the internet that explain what a proof or a specimen of that particular date is, because often they include die markers and things like that to look out for, and it's pretty obvious whether you've got one or not. Right, Aaron says, is it the 1927 that looks like it's engraved? Yeah, the 1927 Parliament florin has the date. Is incused on a raised dome on the reverse, which is unique in the pre-decimal series. It looks like someone's engraved it there. There are proof 1927 Parliament florins, but the chances that people have found one in a drawer or in a bag are 0 to none. Right. The next one. This is a good phone question. I've found an old coin and I've done a Google search and I found it on a website, and the website says it's worth $1,500. So I think it's worth understanding what websites publish articles for. Now, there's a couple of websites I've just popped up there. Now, why do websites publish articles? It's to gather readers. Why do they gather readers? They want to gather readers because those websites sell advertising. They might sell advertising by views, or they might run ads in their content and expect readers to click on those ads, and then they make money out of people clicking on the ads. Now, if I wrote an article on a website, on our website, saying that 99.9% of the coins aren't worth anything, and someone searches on Google for what's my coin worth, my 1955 penny, what's a 1955 penny worth, and the top Google result is an article on my website, and the Google summary says 1955 pennies aren't worth anything. Melt them for the bronze. They're not worth anything. How many people are going to click on that Google link and come and view my article? The answer is none, because no one wants to hear that their 1955 penny is worth 8 cents in bronze. What they want to hear is that it's worth $7,000. So you get a beautiful article up the top of the search results that says your 1955 penny is worth $7,000, and it isn't. Okay, please don't think that it is. You go and you click on the Google article, and then you go and Google link, and you read my article, and there's 1,000 words of wiffle waffle that doesn't say it's worth $7,000, but says that, you know, that maybe one specimen that sold in 1998, the only one known, sold for $7,000, but everything else is worth nothing. So those people that write those articles on those websites, they're doing it for a particular reason, and just because they say it doesn't mean that it is. And if you look at that slide that I've got there, you can see check your change, $2 with little known symbol is now selling for thousands. Now that's the HH $2 coin. That article is diabolically bad because it talks about people that are asking ridiculous prices for the coins, but at no point does it say that they're selling, because we all know the 1988 and 89 HH $2 coin isn't selling for thousands of dollars. But the article really doesn't say it. They say everything they can to avoid saying that it isn't worth thousands of dollars, just to make people think that it is. Now, it's disheartening, but that's the way people run websites to sell advertising. So when you come to me and say that your coin that you found on a website is worth thousands, then my first answer is go and look at sold results on eBay. Is that coin actually selling for thousands of dollars on eBay? And in every case, you'll find out that the answer is it isn't. Last one. And I had a lovely conversation with a gentleman here last week who is a bit of a coin, wants to be a bit of a coin flipper, and he said to me, I'm just getting started, what's a good coin to make money on? And those of you who have watched me for a little while will know that I will say I don't know, because I don't know. If it was that easy, I wouldn't need a shop. I would just pick the winners from the mint and buy every one that I could and make tons of stacks of cash on that. The answer is that it is very hard to make money on coins, bordering on, for most people, impossible. The market is driven by hype, really, not by lack of supply. So if you're just getting started out and you're thinking that you're going to make money, then the chances are you'll only be in the hobby for a very short time. I always recommend to people, if you're just starting out, to collect what interests you. If you collect what interests you, then you will stick at it for the longer term, and you will get to understand the values of items in the space that you are interested in, and you will be able to pick bargains, because often to make money on coins, the money to be made is in the buying, is to be buying at the right price. And unless you know that space really well, then you won't recognize a good price when you see it. You won't recognize that it is a bargain. So if you are just getting started, what's a good investment? The answer is nothing. Okay, there's nothing that you can buy right now if you're just getting started that's a good investment. Not financially, at least. What you can do is learn the market, and that is a good investment on your time rather than your money. So we're a hobby shop, we're not an investment shop. Collect what you love, collect what you enjoy, and if you're lucky, the returns will follow. Okay, so that's it for today. 20 minutes, that's good. Let's see if we've got any questions. Greg says, wasn't the HH thing started by someone on TikTok? Now, yes, it was, Greg. Channel 7 picked up on a gentleman on TikTok who ran a video about the $2 coin. And if you watch the video, he says that, yeah, someone's trying to sell the coin for $10,000, but it isn't worth that. And he's quite clear about that. I don't mind his video. I don't mind his content that he creates. The Channel 7 article is much more circumspect around talking about what the actual value of the coin is. So, yeah. not got a lot of time for the person that wrote that article. Hello, Alex. We're just leaving, mate. It's good to see you. Glad you could get out of bed, or you've probably just come home from work. No worries, Glenn. Thank you for watching. And yes, we've got the Purple Penny Presents coming up on the Gravy Train this Friday. Please go over and join the Gravy Train. It's a really good Facebook group with lots of fun people and lots of fun things going on. No buying and selling, so all of that is taken out of it. That's it for this week. If anyone has any questions or topics they'd like us to cover in these videos, you know how to reach us. Please reach out and make contact with us during the week, and we will try and get on to your topic of interest at some point in the future. Happy collecting. Stay safe, everyone. Bye for now.